All right, welcome back everyone to the fourth in a series of me exploring my box sets. And if you've watched the first three of these, then you know that I've got over 200 box sets. This collection here, 71 box sets in it, so we're going to try to run through this one here in record time. But if you like what you see here, definitely check out the first three. I'm going to leave links to those in the description. But before we dive into this 71 right here, if you're new to my channel and you haven't already hit the subscribe button, please click the button. Also leave a comment, hit like, all those things help support my channel. I would greatly appreciate it. And of course, as an added bonus, by subscribing, you'll be able to stay up to date on all that's going on in the world of music, just like this, with the fourth in the series of me exploring my box sets. And so again, no particular order to these. I just recently moved. So in this case, I do have these in boxes here, but I usually have these things out on bookshelves and stuff like that. I just haven't really figured out how I want to display my over 200 collection of box sets. So right now you're kind of just seeing them strewn around my house. And so that's kind of why they're the way they are. All right, we're just going to dive right into it here. First up is a David Bowie, The Next Day Extra box set. And this one here is a cool one. It is the album, so I guess you would call it a deluxe edition. But for me, and some of you guys have asked, what constitutes a box set? Well, first of all, I say it's got to be in some sort of a box and or one of the book type things, but then it should be multi-disc and or have memorabilia and other stuff. It can't just be a 2 CD set or something like that. This has 2 CDs, a DVD in it, a poster and some other stuff in it. So it's got the album, but it's also got outtakes, B-sides, remixes, stuff like that in it, making it worthwhile. Here's another one for the album Toy that was an unreleased album for about 20 years and just recently came out. It's got 3 versions of the album, a couple different tracks on each one, making it a little bit unique for the listen on those sort of things. But again, multi-disc set doing that for the album. And here's one of the other kind of style of box sets, what I call the book style. And this one's for Tony Banks of Genesis. And see, you've got 2 discs up front and 2 discs in the back. So 4 discs in this, and the book is in the middle of it. And this is just another style of the box set that is out there. But this one here is a best of. It's called A Chord Too Far. And it's what I like about it is that it covers all the different periods of his solo career and whatnot, but it actually sequences the material so that each disc is its own type of thing. So instead of it just being chronological, it covers making a succinct disc for listening. You could put on disc 1 or disc 4, it doesn't make any difference, and you can have an enjoyable listen. I've got a deluxe edition, 30th anniversary for NXS Kick. This one here is 4 discs, 3 CDs, and a Blu-ray. It's got the original album remastered, but then it's also got a separate disc of demos, mixes, and more, as they call it. And then another one for additional mixes and B-sides. A lot of great stuff. 27 tracks between those two. Then we've got a Blu-ray with a mix of the album, but it's also got promo videos and stuff on it. Cool book and everything. Slides out from the side, and you get different things like that as part of it. Faces, 5 guys walk into a bar. This again being that book style, 2 discs up front, 2 discs in the back. And this one here, I think is chronological. I could be wrong, but it's got a lot of cool unreleased or previously unissued stuff on here. It looks like a bunch of tracks, in fact. Cool live stuff, BBC, things like that on it. But very cool stuff from the Faces, featuring a lot of who's who that would go on to bigger bands, of course, Rod Stewart and so forth. Rush Replay ×3. So this one here's got 3 DVDs in it, but it included a soundtrack to one of them. So 3 DVDs, 1 CD, 4 disc box set, Exit Stage Left, Grace Under Pressure Tour, A Show of Hands, and the Grace Under Pressure Tour soundtrack. That for a while, that was the only way to get it. Another Rush, R30, and they were doing this a lot where they were releasing these sort of deluxe editions of these tour. And so we get in here DVD 1 and DVD 2, but we also get the concert itself in here. And a lot of times when they were doing these things, they're just doing very nice packagings with really cool books. This one had guitar picks in it, so that made it something more than just the music and video in here, and a cool book, of course. Got a great Yes box set, The Word is Live 3-disc box set out on Rhino. Again, a book edition of things, 2 discs up front, just 1 in the back here. But Yes always does it up right with a lot of long performances and jams and things of that nature. Several unreleased songs. In fact, one of those would go on to be their Fly From Here album, turned into an album near 35 years later kind of a thing. All right, then we've got a Steve Wynwood, which is called Revolutions, and it's a very best of, but it's a 4-disc box set best of. You can get a single disc version of this too, and it covers all his different projects: Spencer Davis Group, Traffic, Blind Faith, more Traffic, solo Steve Wynwood on here. And the 4th disc is kind of cool because it's got some rarity stuff from every one of his lineups on here. This one's a sort of unique one. The Best of Paul Gilbert. It actually is only 2 CDs, but I still sort of call it that because it comes in the sort of book style. The book is attached in the back of this with the 2 discs there under the front of it. Of course, Paul Gilbert being from not only Racer X, but Mr. Big, where most of you would know him from. Okay, another David Bowie, The Width of a Circle, 2-disc box set, but again, being in the book style. So I always kind of think it generally needs to be about 3 discs to really qualify. But in this day and age, when you're getting sort of that deluxe packaging that is like other box sets, kind of on a gray area there, I'm counting those as box sets still. All of that I believe is unreleased and or has, hard to come by kind of stuff, but some cool stuff there. It's got some new mix stuff. It's also got a lot of BBC stuff. So it's all kind of stuff that's around the album The Man Who Sold the World. Bryan Adams Deluxe Edition, box set edition for the album Reckless. And this one here is a 3-disc set. It's got 2 CDs. It's got the album itself, but it's got, 7 bonus tracks on the first disc. Then it's got a concert from 85 on the second one, and a DVD, which was a movie where he sequenced all the videos together, had a running theme through it and characters and stuff like that. And it's about 30 minutes long, and it actually is a really kind of cool little movie that they made. Actually, it's 4th disc. I see that there is actually Blu-ray audio in this too. So, very cool. And this one here is a book style, but it's in a slipcase sleeve. Another way that these box sets will come. One that I really like, The Cult Love, 4-disc box set here. This is called the Omnibus Edition of the album itself. We get the original album, but we get demos, we get single versions, and we get a live album all centered around that with a cool book and so forth. Here's a recent one. Iggy Pop and the Stooges, a 4-disc box set here called Born in a Trailer. And it's rehearsal tapes and sessions from 72 and 73 that surprisingly has really good quality on it. Olympic Studios 1972, Michigan rehearsals in 73, Detroit rehearsals in 73, and New York and Detroit rehearsals in 73 as well. Then we've got an Ingva Malmsteen Parabellum box set deluxe edition of the album. And so these here, again, a little bit of a gray area. What I like about them and why I call them box sets is not only do they come in boxes, but this one, which has guitar picks in it, coasters, stickers, postcards. Sometimes they've got posters and stuff, and then the disc, and it's got a couple bonus tracks on it. So it's not a multi-disc thing, but because it's coming with all the sort of stuff that makes a box set, I go ahead and call it a box set as such. All right, moving on. We've got a Steppenwolf Magic Carpet Ride box set. Let's see, 8 CDs in this covering an early era from 67 to 71. Then we've got a Skid Row box set. Wish I could say this had a bunch of unreleased, but it doesn't. It's just covering their albums. What it does have, and maybe you don't have it, is the Subhuman Beings on Tour live EP, 6 tracks, Japanese only 1995 release. All of them in their own individual digipack cases. Some more David Bowie. He's been releasing Up a Storm, Loving the Alien 83 to 88 box set. These are cool ones where you pull them off like that, and then all individual discs there with a book in it like that. Each of the albums, there's a number of things bonus about them, remix or something, alternate album artwork, stuff like that. But he has a recall disc in each one, and sometimes two, that has collects together singles, outtakes, B-sides, and all that sort of stuff. All right, David Bowie, a new career in a new town from, let's see, 77 to 82. Same kind of box set. Lots and lots of great stuff on these. And another one here, Who Can I Be Now? Same sort of style stuff. Each of these things have somewhere between 8 and 10 discs within them, making them completely worthwhile, in my opinion. All right, moving on, we've got Glam Metal King's Enough's Enough 3-disc box set of rarities called Never Enough, Rarities and Demos. And all this stuff unreleased and surprisingly really good quality, all stuff from before they were signed. If you like that early era of Enough's Enough, this is worth checking out. Very cool one here from Chris Cornell and all the different bands and eras of his life on here. This is a little sleeve on it that keeps the discs from coming out on it that goes over it. And you get 2 different sides to it there. It is 4 discs with a book in it. A lot of rarities on it, but a lot of album tracks. So it is basically an extended greatest hits with some rare material that's thrown in on it. And we get AC/DC box set backtracks. You've seen the guitar amp edition. That was something that came straight off their website. That was a big one that I had that was twice the amount of material. This is one that's been distilled down into, I believe it is 2 CDs and a DVD that is in here. 1 outtakes, 1 live, and then music videos kind of thing. Whereas the other one had an extra DVD and an extra CD that was in it. All right, we've got a deluxe edition of the album New by Paul McCartney, but this one here is, I believe it's just, oh no, it's actually a 3-disc set, 2 CDs and a DVD. It's got, you know, music videos, live performances on it. It's got, you know, 7 bonus tracks on the extra audio. The regular album itself has a couple bonus tracks. Book that's in the middle of it. So as I've said, you know, some of these deluxe editions are full-on box set length type things like this. Paul McCartney, An Evening With, which has the show and live albums in it. And this was kind of cool. It had a baseball style card inside it, Paul McCartney thing that's in here because this was shot at in New York at what is the Yankees, I think, stadium that was at. So kind of cool. Then we've got Pure McCartney, a best of 4 discs in here, covering the whole career again of his. No Beatles in it, but you know, Wings, solo, and so forth. I really like this one. Rod Stewart Sessions, and it spans from 71 to 98. And there's a whole host of bonus tracks on this from my favorite era of his, but you've got stuff throughout on this one, making it really worthwhile. And it's not just you know, album cuts and stuff like that, but really cool deep cut type stuff that's on it. And you've heard me say this a lot in the past ones. The box sets that I like the most are the ones that have rare audio stuff with it. Of course, I'm a fan for memorabilia and whatnot, so I also like that, which is why I buy the deluxe editions of things. All right, Alice Cooper Old School. You guys saw the version of this that was the desk that lifts up. And again, it had a bunch of extra stuff in it, but this one here is a 2 CD DVD version of it that is just in a book type like that as opposed to the other. So it sort of replicates the it looked like a yearbook version of it in the middle of this, but with the cover of the desk, whereas the other one actually had a replica looking yearbook that you pull out hard, bound copy and everything. Some of these I just came across for $10 to $20, and when you can get a box set that was $50 or so when it originally came out for that, I like to have it. I like to have the different versions and stuff. I also like the ease of pulling some of these out over those deluxe ones that are pretty cumbersome and stuff like that. So that's why I do it sometimes, but also sometimes the material on the smaller ones, like the AC/DC one, they're edited versions. So the sequencing of tracks and things is different than those super deluxe edition ones. All right, Marillion, Clutching at Straws. This one here is a 5-disc box set. We've got the album itself remixed. Then we've got 2 live discs in here. We've got demos, and we've got Blu-ray edition of the album plus promo videos and things like that. So like a super deluxe edition of the album itself. All right, keeping on that sort of AOR melodic rock thing, prog rock if you will. Magnum, we've got Long Days, Black Nights, the Alternative Anthology. 3 discs of alternate takes of stuff on here. Cool because it comes in these thin style, like CD single kind of cases. A little different style kind of a box set there. Little mini thing. Wasn't too much if I remember, you know, maybe $15, $20 kind of a thing. All right, got a couple R.E.Ms here. Live at the BBC, this one here has a whole bunch of discs. Don't recall offhand, but you can see them right there, book and everything. So all their different performances and gathered up on there, a lot of unreleased, and the deluxe edition of Monster. And this one here I think is 6 discs. And all the discs in this are in the back of it individually like that. So again, we're seeing a different kind of box set, but the book is up front in here. Got the hype stickers and stuff up front like that. You know, I love to keep those. Remixed album on that. A lot of bands are doing that, doing remixes of their classic albums, which for me, I love alternate things. So I enjoy getting them as long as the original albums stay in print and or a part of those, I'm fully okay with it. All right, we've got here Noel Gallagher, Back the Way We Came, essentially a greatest hits 3-disc, little mini book edition of it. But this one here, instead of the single disc or 2-disc, it is a 3-disc one, which has a bonus discs of, and I don't remember if it's all live on the last one or not, but unreleased stuff that's on that one, making it worthwhile to get that. We have another deluxe edition album from Vandenberg. This one, 2020, the Reunion album. It's got the album in here, but it's got 4 guitar picks, 2 coasters, sticker, postcard, and it's that sort of clamshell style box like that. So again, these are kind of popular too. We see a lot of those. Okay, here's another one that you've seen already in the past, but this one being a different version of it. Pearl Jam 10, a very small style box set, but 3 discs in here. We got the CD, we've got the remix of the album plus a bunch of bonus tracks, and then the MTV Unplugged DVD, which has now been released as a CD, which the audio is not in this. Don't know why they didn't do it as part of this, although they must have been looking ahead to the future. But we've got the book style that slides into a slipcase there. So some box sets big, some box sets small. The Police, which this one here is Every Move You Make, the studio recordings, 5 studio albums, but it's got flexible leftovers, or not flexible, flexible strategies, flexible leftovers is Steve Vai. Flexible Strategies, which is a whole bunch of B-sides and singles that didn't make it to albums. And that is a standalone disc in here, so I bought it for that. Tom Petty, Wildflowers, and all the rest, a 4-disc edition, very small by comparison to the Super Deluxe Edition 5-disc box set that had all the memorabilia and stuff. And again, you saw that one in a previous one. Another 4-disc Tom Petty, this one here being, American Treasure, couldn't remember the title of that. Bunch of unreleased on this one here. And again, booklet up front on this, discs in the back. Another kind of popular style. Okay, got another cult one here. Sonic Temple 30th Anniversary 5-disc box set. This one here's got the album, then it's got single mixes and extras. Sonic Temple demos, 2 discs of those on here. And then we've got Live at Wembley in #89. So very cool, book style. A little Yes box set here. This one's got 3 discs that are in it. So this one here is called From a Page, Studio Tracks Plus, In the Present from Live at Leon. So the one that is called From a Page is 4 tracks that never made it onto a Yes album that was done by Oliver Wakeman, or when he was part of the band. So he finished off the tracks, and with the band's permission, did that. So then they chose to release it here. Plus it's got live recording and stuff. So from his time and his era in the band. So it's a little snapshot of when Oliver Wakeman was part of the band, son of Rick Wakeman. Ingva Malmsteen Blue Lightning Deluxe Edition. 2 bonus tracks on here. Again, one of those clamshell style ones. And we get some bonus stuff, memorabilia meaning, with that there. And another one. I think these are all being done roughly by the same label, Mascot kind of a thing. But we get Flying Colors. And this one here being called Third Degree, 3rd album, clamshell style box with a bunch of bonus stuff in here. This one, I believe, has some extra material on it as well. ZZ Top box set, collecting together all their studio albums up to Recycler, which looks like it has 10 albums that are in here. No bonus material, but a nice little collection of albums. And then we've got a Neil Young box set here, each one individually. What I like about this one is it includes the unreleased album, where at this point, Time Fades Away. Came out at the time only on vinyl, never pressed a CD. Only way you can get it as CD right now, in this box. Very cool one. Budgie, new wave of British heavy metal band. 3 what were out of print albums at the time from MCA Records. And I think this is the only way to get them all individually sleeved. Nothing else bonus or anything of that nature, but a nice little box collecting up that period, which is a great era of the band. And then we've got 3 Def Leppard box sets, CD collections, and these are cool. They've got the albums in it, but they've got these rarities discs that are tacked on with all the outtakes and B-sides and stuff like that. This one here also has a live show in it that isn't available anywhere else. And then we get into Volume 2, and this one had 3 discs of rarities on it. And all of them have the individual discs plus book in it. And this one here, 3 albums with 3 discs of unreleased material, B-sides, a second disc of covers called Yeah 2, and then Yeah Live, which are cover songs being performed live. Okay, and we're moving on down to this last one here. Try and wrap this up here fairly quickly for you guys. I've got a Vanilla Fudge box set here, Box of Fudge, which I always thought was a cool title to this, telling you exactly what it is, but totally making sense when you are a band that's called Vanilla Fudge. And this one is a 4-disc box set, 3 discs worth of music on here. I don't believe there's anything unreleased on this. I could be wrong, except perhaps maybe the 4th disc, which is live on here. This was a Rhino Records handmade box set kind of thing. Hard to come by, not sold in stores. Worth quite a bit of money right now. All right, we got a Joey Ramone's You Know box set. And this one here, deluxe edition, but it's got, of course, it's got a little book in it, but I like this. It's got a record that is a Christmas ornament that actually plays and is Merry Christmas, I Don't Want to Fight Tonight as the single on it. And then we've got the album itself and a video included with this thing. So this one here, 3 discs in my opinion, so beyond just the deluxe edition for that. All right, let's check this one out. This is a very cool one. This is a Jane's Addiction box set, Cabinet Full of Curiosities, I think is the title. It actually has hardware on it that you have to pop the little thing there like that. And then we can open this thing up like that. And you actually have behind it little cabinet doors that are glass. And then when you open that up there, CDs and book and stuff like that are behind there, including some cool little figures, little stitched figures that are in that. Just don't know why they're in there, but it's kind of cool. Sort of like voodoo doll type things, you know, the kinds you stick pins in. We've got a Reverend Horton Heat, 25 to Life live album, double live album with DVD in here. Good rockabilly band. If you're not familiar with them, mention them to Chris Prophy. Maybe he'll check them out, my fellow CD and vinyl guy. Annihilator. So this one here, trying to look for the title on this one, and I'm not seeing it immediately here. Just checking to see if it's on the inside, and I'm not. Maybe it was a self-titled for all I know. All right, but this one here, another one of those clamshell style boxes that had keychain, guitar picks, and stuff like that that was in it that was worth getting. Warriors of the Road from Saxon. So this one here's got 2 DVDs and a CD that's in it, live tracks, selections from kind of thing, with a great photo book in the middle and some write-up and stuff like that. And then this one I kept in here too, the Saxon Chronicles, which is a DVD box set, book style again, if you will, with the DVDs and chronicling their whole history. But a really cool way that they did it here. Those are a little more common now, but this was 2003 when that came out. And so Motley Crue box sets with them out on the stadium tour, and these are out of print. But Music to Crash Your Car To, and yes, I know that that title is a bit in bad taste with what happened with Vince Neil crashing his car and unfortunately killing Razzle from Hanoi Rocks and injuring the people that he did. But it is what it is. It's rock and roll, and a volume 2. And when these go together, starting to spell out Motley Crue, there was supposed to be a third version that unfortunately probably never going to see the light of day. And I hate it when bands start box set series or things like this and then never finish them. But it is what it is. Some cool unreleased stuff on these, including on the first one, the Leather Records mix of the debut album. I wish they'd released that standalone, but you can get it that way right now. Right? Excuse me, AC/DC, Let There Be Rock box set edition. You can see all the stuff that's inside it here. We've got the DVD of the movie itself, postcards, guitar pick, book, that kind of stuff that's in here in a cool metal tin. It's a little bit different, but box set nonetheless. Very cool one here. I know I said about a lot of these, but I love my box sets. Nils Lofgren, Face the Music. This one here was, I have to say, I was not a big Nils Lofgren fan when I bought this, and I decided to shell out for it because, if I can find it in here, it came with an autograph and hand numbered right there across the top. And so I wanted to give it a shot, and it's got some cool stuff in here, and I also like the way they do the book in this long style format. But it covers his whole career. I think this thing is like 9 discs or something like that. And you know what? I put this thing on and it just was perfect thing at the perfect time. And I've since grown to be a big fan of Nils' solo material, not just the stuff that he does with Bruce Springsteen and so forth. Cool Thin Lizzy box set. Vagabonds, Kings, Warriors, and Angels 4-disc box set. Got some cool rarities, but also just cool album cuts. Great overview out on Mercury Records. Don't know why this is out of print. They've since put out another one that I've got, and guessing you saw that in one of the other videos. Can't recall now. Got so many box sets, but yeah, both box sets are really great. Unfortunately, both box sets are out of print. Ozzy Osbourne, Prince of Darkness, and 2 discs up front, 2 discs in the back. The book was separate with no sleeve for it to go in, so it just falls out. Always hated that about this. But there you go. Very cool. I liked this one because, one, at the time it came with an album of cover songs that later was released, I think it was called Undercover, independently. But at the time, that was what was new about this. And then it had other stuff on here. But he did another album worth of cover songs from past, and unfortunately put one on there where he did a song with Miss Piggy, and it's just god-awful listening to her. And so makes it hard listening to that album, unfortunately, because I got to skip that track. They didn't tack it on at the end. Death Angel, Archives and Artifacts, very cool. They have since reissued this, in fact, just recently. It's got a DVD, it's got a rarities disc, and then it's got Frolic Through the Park and the Ultraviolence, those 2 albums. But there's a newer version called Something Different that's been reissued, so you can get that stuff today. R.E.M. Around the Sun Deluxe Edition. And this one here, no additional bonus material. It's just a top that lifts off like this. The disc is on top, but then they've got all these different fold-up style things that have credits, lyrics that unfold into poster type things. They've always been really cool at the box sets that they do, the deluxe editions and that sort of stuff. So we're just going to continue through it. We got a ton of these. R.E.M. Green, 2-disc box set, but again, postcards, poster, a disc of demos, a disc of the album, and these either have demos or live stuff included, and sometimes both. I think it says Fables of the Reconstruction here on it, and we've got another one here, Life's Rich Pageant. All of them pull off like that, multi-disc type stuff. One for Document. They've been doing their whole catalog, which is cool. And then New Adventures in Hi-Fi, and this one here's got a disc of B-sides and rarities in it. Plus, it's got, I think it's postcards and stuff, or a big poster inside here. So some cool stuff. And that is a box. You know, they did one that was a 3-disc, but it came in a book. And I really prefer the boxes, so that's why I bought this version of it and skipped the other one, because the extra thing was a DVD in that one. Not so interested in that as much as the unreleased material, or rare material at least. R.E.M. Automatic for the People. And I think this one here, yeah, it's got a live album and a 24-page book. Haven't opened it yet. Picked it up after the fact. I'll open it when I'm in an R.E.M. mood. Garbage. This one here, No Gods, No Masters. Sorry. And a deluxe edition of it. So we've got disc 1, that's the album, and bonus track disc of 8 tracks in it. Poster, some postcards, things like that included in it. And the final one, Black Sabbath bassist Geezer Butler, 4-CD box set of his solo stuff called Manipulations of the Mind, the complete collections of his stuff. Plastic Planet, Black Science, Ohm Work, and then a disc of bonus tracks. And again, that's, you know me, that's why I'm always buying these, for the bonus tracks. And so there you go, 71 box sets there, again, as part of my more than 200 box set collection. I know we raced through that in 31 minutes here now, so hopefully you still enjoyed that, and maybe you saw some stuff you've never seen before, and now you could go search that stuff out. If you enjoyed this and you want to check out the first 3, remember there's links in the description below. Certainly leave your comments, let me know your thoughts, share this video out on social media, help spread the word for me. I would greatly appreciate it. All right, everyone, take care, have a great day, and I'll talk to you all real soon. Bye-bye, everyone.